All right, so I made it. I didn't die. So, just so y'all know, it is my birthday today, and I'm not one to be shy about my age. I don't care. I have kids ask me all the time, "How old are you?" And I am 26 today. I'm usually a year ahead, so I was actually thinking that I was 27, and then I checked, and I had to actually do the math, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm only 26." Cool. So anyway, I am past 25 now. And something happened over last week that I didn't get to share with you guys. So I went to the hospital because I can't remember if it was like a rupture or a herniated disc, but I really messed up my disc bad. And it was by something very dumb. I got into my car, and it was a higher car than what I was normally driving. Excuse me. And I pulled the door closed, and bam, my back went out. Drove home, did a couple hours of work, which I shouldn't have done. I like to push through though, uh, because I have a high tolerance to pain, but it kicks me in the butt. And then I was up all night in extreme agony. I mean, I've dealt with back problems since I was in sixth grade, so I know how to manage my pain. But it was really bad, and I was like, I feel like I'm in a torture chamber. And like, if you've ever had to deal with a very intense amount of pain for a very long time, it just time is warped and everything feels really weird. And yeah, it was very intense. So I do not complain when I'm in pain. My mom has had a chronic illness for a really long time. I have a high tolerance to pain. I really try not to complain unless it's very, very bad. And I'm like, I can't move right now. So I screamed, and my mom came running downstairs. And I was actually screaming through the night, but I screamed really loud. And my mom came running down the stairs. Everyone in the house came running downstairs. And they were, like, okay, can we move you? And and I could not move. And normally what I do is I have this little bench that's leather, and it's a little bit soft so you can sit on it because it's like a cushion thing, right? So I normally lay flat on that for a few days when my back is really bad. But I wasn't able to get to that spot because I was in so much pain, because it felt like I was being sawn in half. Like it's really low, like low on the back, and it just felt like being like someone was just, I mean, the nerve pain, I can't even explain it, and I hope you guys never endure it. I was told today that it was worse than labor, and I was like, I feel vindicated. I feel, not vindicated, but like validated. That's the word I was looking for. I feel validated. So then my mom called the paramedics because I could not move. So she called the paramedics and said, can you guys at least move her to the bench? So they were able to do that for me. They moved me to the bench. The pain was so incredible. And my mom was like, you're not going to get any better, are you? And I was like, I think I need to go to the hospital. I think I need pain meds. I can't do this. And I am not one to take pain meds. Like, I don't even take a leave, I mean, I'm going to be more on top of it now because I just don't want to have the inflammation, but it ruins your liver and blah, blah, blah. I try to do things as naturally as you can, turmeric, ginger, all that stuff. Anyway, so they came a second time. So our little neighborhood got a nice show, and they moved me. They picked me up and put me on, or they took the bench out, lifted me up onto the gurney, and I passed out. And my sister was laughing, or my mom and my sister were like, because it looked like I had died. And I was ready to go. To be honest, like I love life. I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way. I love life. I love the people in my life. I love my family. But like, if I had the option to just go to heaven, I'd be like, take me now. You know what I mean? So I was like, Lord, if this is it, I'm ready to go. Take me home. I've waited a long time. So, but I did not get to go. I had another birthday that I had to be here for. So, I passed out. And, my mom and my sister, I guess the paramedics weren't very nice the first time. So they were trying to tell them that, like, hey, she's actually in a lot of pain, and like, she's not being a drama queen about this. And so, but then of course, meeting me, I was like, if I don't make it, tell this person that I love them. And then I was out, and then they put me into the ambulance and they drove me away. And the ambulance ride was pretty painful. We got to the hospital. Apparently I was there for 8 hours. I don't remember any of it except for like 20 minutes. That's really all I remember. Thank God, because that was probably a lot of pain. And I don't remember if they gave me like a pain med there. I don't know if they gave me like a sedative. I have no idea. But I was out. So then I got transported to a second hospital, which I don't remember at all. I've never had that before where you like literally don't remember. My mom was like, yeah, the two ladies who took you in the second ambulance were so nice. I was like, second ambulance? Because I just remember waking up in the new hospital. So woke up in the new hospital, and it was the absolute best nurses, doctors, anything like that. And I've been a caretaker for a really long time, so I appreciated every little thing that they were doing. I like there's all these things that you don't think about until you're a caretaker, and then when you receive care, you're so grateful. Like the way that they came in, the way like they, the way that if like you can tell when someone is like, we got to hurry up and get you out of here versus like we care about this person. And it was very much like they really cared about me, like the way that they, oh, let me hold your cup, and it was just really sweet because I felt like God was really watching over me, because I've been watching over people for such a long time. And so to receive care was so nice. I'm not saying my family doesn't take care of me. I'm just saying like, to receive really detailed care, the kind of care that I like to be able to give. And I can't always, because sometimes, like I get busy or whatever. I mean, I'm not saying that I've been a perfect nurse, you know what I mean? I try really hard to do the little things that I feel like make a difference. And so, keeping people's areas tidy, and it was just so precious. And I had 3 wonderful nurses, and my last nurse, she stole me from the first nurse because she was like, I want to have you as a patient for today. I was like, sweet. So they were all just the most precious people that I've ever met. And so that was quite the adventure. So I was there from, my back went out on Wednesday. I went to the ER on Thursday, and then I came home. And then I went to the hospital on Thursday, and then I came home on Sunday. So it was just such a blessing, and the timing was perfect because I'm 26 now, so I'm kicked off of the insurance, so that was perfect. So thank you, Lord, right? And yeah, so it was a wonderful experience, even though it was the worst pain that I've ever had in my life. So it's my birthday today. I'm not really doing a ton of celebrating because I don't feel that great. I'm still in pain and stuff. I'm going to try to get some stuff done here in a little bit, but my senior friends gave me, let's see if I can show this to you guys. They gave me these flowers, which were just beautiful. And they gave me, I know my mic's going to die out. So they gave me these little guys, which are like little keychain shoes. So one's a dance shoe and one's a little tap shoe. And yes, it's metal, and yes, it makes noise. And I think it would be just stinking hilarious to like do this and do like, oh, I bet could I do a flat? It's really hard. Oh, you can do it. And then, okay, flat. Yep. Well, I have to practice, but it would be so cute if you had like a little character and then you had 2 little shoes. So, sad news is I probably will not be able to do dance as a career anymore, which I had been preparing myself for. I'm really glad that this happened when it did, because I'd already been thinking about this. Like I'm deep in a book right now. I'm like 3 chapters away from being done. And I'm like, I'm ready. Like I've taught a lot of dance, and I've loved every dancer who's come into my life. And it does make me sad to have to probably stop almost all of it. But, I'll get a new body in heaven, and I will be dancing there. I will be the first one on the dance floor. So, but I'm getting ready now to like pursue more writing as a career. I did try doing the administrative stuff. I just don't think that I can handle the stress. I think that's part of the reason why I had to go to the hospital, was because because of my autoimmune, I have to keep myself at a very like anti-inflammatory, no cortisol, everything is okay kind of a life. It's not because I'm lazy. It's because like I physically, like, even if my brain can handle it, my body's like, no, you're not going to do that. So because I just can't handle stress anymore. It's just not good for me. And then my body just falls apart. So I can't do a stressful job. Like I kind of wish I could, because I'm probably a little bit of almost a sadist to myself in that way, where I like to see how far I can push myself. But it's just not worth it. So we'll probably not be doing that. Although I want to help. There's this really awesome guy who he's putting together like a news network and a health channel type of thing, and I want to help launch that, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do all the stuff that I wanted to do, which I'm sad about, but it's just the way that it goes. So yeah, and then I already have the second part of a new book that I want to do, a new book that I want to do. I already have like a little bit of it written out. Thought I might read it to you guys at the end. You guys can tell me what you think. But I wanted to kind of go over this year. So this past year has been, I have focused a lot on systems for myself. So and I'm not perfect at this, not perfect in this, but I have tried to get myself into systems where I'm in a good administrative flow. Like the emails are good. Keeping myself, like one thing that I've really been proud of is I've been like visiting more people, just keeping more people in my life, keeping tabs with them, trying to catch up more with my sisters. So getting like a really good web, I would say, of people. And like this past year, I feel like the past 2 years, really, my network of people has gotten so strong. So like if something happens to me, like I have so many people who love and support me, which is just amazing. Like when my dancers came over today, my senior dancers, they're just the best. They brighten up my day. They're like human sunshine, and I love that. So that's been good. Health-wise, I have really tried to get myself strong, which I'm very proud about. I feel really good about that. I'm sad that I can't do like more physical activity because I love it so much. Like I was raised on the firm workouts and like doing gymnastics and dance constantly. That was all I ever did, was just do that. So I'm sad not to be able to do those things as much anymore, because it's just such a part of who I am. So I have planned to, and I already started doing this, but I'm taking up more painting, and I am doing more, I want to take up piano, because I feel like that'll be a good artistic thing. I'll still be moving. You feel like you're moving in time with the music. I need that. I need them in my life. I have to have music in my life. So, and dance was such an integral part of that. And I'll probably, like I was dreaming, like when I don't dance, I dream about it. So I was like dreaming about teaching and everything. And I love it so much. But, there's things happen. So, let's see, what else? I met a very special person, and I lost them. And to me, that was it was a very big challenge, because I always wondered, and sometimes God puts us through the things that we really don't want to go through, but I was always like, Lord, I don't want to meet someone, because if I have to let them go, I think it'll kill me. But it didn't. I felt so good, because I truly loved that person for who they were, but we just weren't compatible, and so, and it's hard when that happens. It's very, very hard. But to me, it proved that my relationship with God is bigger than anything else. And I will be okay even if I am alone. Like I'm fine. And I truly enjoy, I'm too much of my own best friend to like ever be bored. I do really like interacting with people. So, but to me, it doesn't mean like that I need to like hang out with a bunch of friends. I find hanging out with friends, to be quite honest, like friend groups can be really draining and also a waste of time, because like I could be doing things. I'm a doer. So I'm like, I'd rather be home making a movie than just talking about like whatever. But at the same time, I love deep conversations, and I mostly it's like my family and then a couple close friends. And I feel like that's a really good system to have because you honestly shouldn't be wasting a bunch of time like trying to get approval from a bunch of people and a bunch of friends. Some people are extreme extroverts, and I totally get that. So I think that for other people, it's probably a different system than mine. But I would say if you're constantly worried about friend groups, it's really not a good thing in the end because you are wasting a lot of time chasing after people's affirmations or just literally wasting your time. If you like, I think that if people want to hang out together, it should be kind of concentrated on a thing or a project. So like I see a lot of young people and they just kind of hang out here, hang out there, wasting time. And so it's like play a game, have a game night, and then move on, or study something together, or make a project together, like those kinds of things. But again, I mean, everyone has their system, and as long as you're not wasting a ton of time and feel like you have to be with your friends every 5 seconds, then you're fine. So other big things from this year. Oh, well, finishing my book, basically. So I have like 3 chapters, like I said, I'm almost ready. And I am so happy because my goal is every year by my birthday, like my gift to myself every year will be that I will write a book every year. Then I will up it to 2 books, and then I will up it to 3 because I know that it's possible. And the more that I push myself towards the writing community and the better I get at promoting myself and things like that, I don't think, like, it's very hard to make a living as a full-time writer. Like, it's very difficult. But I see a lot of opportunity for me to be like in schools, to do speeches, because I'm very passionate. Basically what I am is an English teacher without a degree who's writing books. And in my head, when I write the books, I have curriculum that goes alongside. So I told my mom today, hey, I think I might just write the curriculum for the teachers for these books and then go and promo these books to the schools that I've been and to different schools. And then if those teachers like my stories, then they will promote it to each other. So, and I love classic literature so much. And it makes me so, I've never watched it before, but one of my newest story is kind of like Wind in the Willows. And if you've ever seen like those, it's like Mr. Toad and the Badger and things like that. So I am really, really, really excited, but then I was like, okay, but I don't want it to be like copying Wind in the Willows. I've never read that, so I better watch that today. So I watched the movie, and it was similar, but like pretty different. Mine's gonna be like an anthropomorphic murder mystery with a little bit of like Jabberwocky type style speech in there. So like made up words. Lewis Carroll made up words in his book. I think it was Alice in Wonderland in the poem Jabberwocky. Anyway, so but I was listening to the words in the Wind in the Willows, and I was just the words that they had the vocabulary was so stinking rich. I was so happy, and I was like, this is totally the kind of stuff that kids should be watching, even if you can't understand everything. Like there's basically words and vocabulary are like a staircase. So like you learn your basic word, and then like you might not totally understand the next word, but you can like make the jump, and then from there you're like because you make jumps of logic, right? But if you always are like no, I'll make it easier for you, and you make the road flat for kids, and you're always like no, that's a word you don't know, then you're gonna squish them down, and they're always just gonna be on this flat plane, and then eventually you don't even have the strength to go up the stairs. So that's what I see with a lot of people nowadays is they like their vocabularies are so shrunk down, they have no idea what they're like. If you were to watch an old movie or read an old book, you're just so overwhelmed because your vocabulary is so small. And if your vocabulary is small, your world is small. And the biggest thing is you can't read historical documents or original text to know what people were talking about. So it's very, very important. And also you do not have as many words to express yourself by. So communication between humans becomes limited. So anyway, because we want as many words as we can possibly have, I think. So I wanted to, so that's kind of the closing for this year. So it's been a hard year, but a really good year. I need to plug in my computer really quick. So very, very happy about all those things. And I'm continuing to do well with my art projects. Is that plugged in? The little light is not popping on. Come on. Whoa. Come on, buddy. Come on. You can do it. Come on. I know you can do this. You're just being stubborn. There. Okay, good. It's a good year, hard year. Probably the year of the most personal growth that I've done in a while, probably since like 5 years ago. So yeah, I feel, excuse me, I feel very strong as a person, and I really know who I am. And I'm very like my world building skills. It's like I feel like I'm becoming the person that I always really wanted to be. Very rooted in who I am, able to give to others without thinking about myself too much, enjoying life without feeling like shame and guilt all the time, and creating things and inspiring people to be better, like better on their end without like having to be exactly like me. Yeah, so I love that. And I feel the other thing too, growing artistically in getting my lighting and sound down. Those are two goals that I really, really have. I really, really, really want to make sure that I get those things nailed down, so that I can start making some really awesome videos. So yeah, I'm trying to think of. I need to stop saying in my videos. Sometimes when I've thought a little bit more about what I'm going to say, I don't say it as much, but I go back to watch my videos and it kills me with the ums. Sorry about that. That's a tick I need to work on. So I wanted to read this to y'all because I came up with this yesterday, and then I have to get some other work done. But so this, oh, hang on. I got to find it. Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. Okay. La, la, I really want to watch that again. There was this version of Robin Hood. I've been watching Once Upon a Time. Thanks, Julia. I've been watching Once Upon a Time, and I really liked it all the way until they got up to Hades, and then I was like, oh, because there's this one, the main character Emma Swan. She never gets to just be happy for like an extended period of time. Someone she loves always dies or whatever. And I was like, if they kill her, because she basically had 3 boyfriends, they all ended up dying. And her last boyfriend, I'm like, if they kill this boyfriend, I have to stop watching this show because I just can't deal with one more death. And then he died, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. So now I need to go back to my good old BBC Robin Hood, which again ends in tragedy, but I love Jonas Armstrong. So, okay, let's see. Where is my new little story? Here it is. And I have to read slowly. I feel like I haven't talked in a few days to anybody, so I'm like, oh. So I've been just trapped in my room on my bed, staring at the ceiling with the screen of my phone. Okay, so it is called. Okay, so this was inspired by this audiobook that I listen to it sometimes when I can't fall asleep. And it is a audiobook. I can't remember the name of it now. I should totally know the name of this book because I've probably listened to it over a few times. But I never get to the end of the story, and I still don't know what the ending is or really what it's about. It's a murder mystery. It's read aloud by Benedict Cumberbatch and is on YouTube. I can link it in the description for you guys. But so the and I think one of the towns in there is Middleton. I think so. Either that or I'm thinking about something else, BBC. So anyway, this is called Murder at Middleton. And the reason it was inspired by that audiobook was because when I drifted off to sleep the first night that I found that book, I thought it was about animals who could talk, who were solving a mystery in the British countryside. But that is not what it was about. And so I was like surprised when I learned that that wasn't what it was about. But I was like, that is so cool. And I thought in the story, because Benedict Cumberbatch he has a pretty easy accent, but like I'm used to being able to see his face. So I can kind of, you don't realize how much you lip read when you're listening to someone who has a heavy accent. And then you go and you're like trying to listen to it and it sounds like made up words. So I thought that there were made up words in the story and I was like, that is such a fabulous idea. So I'm going to read this to you guys. I have to put on my reading glasses. Or not reading glasses, my normal glasses. All right, here we go. So this is called Murder at Muddleton. In the housey, drowsy countryside, unlike old Timbuktu, there was a place beyond the wishing road, a place called Muddleton. Muddleton overlooked the breathtaking fields of Rapsidium flowers only ever spotted in the briggy home of a late winter's twilight, or in the lovely thrall of a spring daisy. To be sure, the inhabitants of such a place were cheery of heart, and the keepers of such fine claws and tooths and snouts as are all countryside animal folk. There was nothing more typical than to see the various inhabitants of Muddleton to be out and about, greeting one another, talking the weather, or hunting, growing, and gathering delicious food. It was a deep green day, almost an emerald kind of day, a little cold, slightly damp, the morning sky a middle shade of gray, which seemed to say, beware, boogie weather ahead. But it was all the same to Belir, the badger of these parts. He cared not if it rained, or if his brass-buttoned navy blue jacket got a little torby from the dampness. He had to see the earth as it was every day. His daily walks were akin to conversations with a best friend. He hummed to himself, with his butterfly net cast over his shoulder, ambling through the mist and the whistling wind. The tall grasses swayed under the weight of the gale. The weather was getting surlier by the minute. The badger passed by Toothless Beaver out working on the Melville's bank, felling logs and patching up the dam. Toothless shook his head and held out his hand, feeling a drop fall from the sky. I'd head on home if I were you, Belir. Looks like it's going to be a wallop of a day. But I'm not you, Toothless, and I want to see my special place, even if I am solid for it later. The wind and rain are my old friends, you know. Well, just the same, you might consider taking shelter from a friend on the way home. Our dam is always open to you if you make it back this far. The animals nodded to each other, and Belir resumed his journey. He had a place, a special place, which the other animals knew about, but left alone as it was his particular favorite. He came there nearly every morning, and sometimes during the day when he had more than his share of thinking to do. He was something of a hermit, but the nicest sort, the kind that sits at tables and enjoys their own quiet and everyone else's conversations. While he was not one for idle talk or frivolous company, he was very hospitable and enjoyed the creatures in his life that felt the same. Once he and his friend Doombolt, the tortoise, spoke for almost 2 days without stopping, except for a few lightly snappings here and there. So that is the beginning of that little tale. And I am like super, super excited. So I am hoping that that book will be a fun one, and it's going to be like, it'll be interesting. I think I'm going to make it like, I think I really do want to make it a murder mystery, even though it's animals. And I was like, is that going to be too dark? But I think it'll be playful and it'll be funny. So that'll be a fun, cute little story. And yeah, so I will see all of you guys later. And if you guys have birthdays coming up, let me know when your birthday is, and then we can do a little birthday shout outs. So I will see you guys all soon. Have a fabulous day or night or whatever you guys are having. And I will see y'all soon. Bye, guys.